to the maps we go. So we've got Zimbabwe for Fanjus private sheets, and Team Twat have Two Rivers and Crescent as the neutral admin pick, which is good. I like all of these maps. I think Zimbabwe's really interesting and a lot of fun, and this will be the first time I've cast or really looked at Two Rivers this year, which is nice for me. I don't know about you guys if you like Two Rivers, but enjoy it. I think I saw it was it in Nations Cup where the GB lot played against I can't remember if it was Hera's team or Leary's team. I remember there being a Two Rivers game. Either way, civs we have for Fanjus private sheets: Koreans, Bengalis, Lithuanians, Britons, Cumans, Teutons, Vietnamese, Ethiopians, Khmer, Huns, Franks, Malians, and Vikings. So the only kind of change up that we're seeing from the civs this time is Britons and Britons and Cumans in the mix. So Cumans on there for the first time. They survived the ban phase. Persians, Burgundians, Bulgarians, and Bohemians banned. Saracens, Spanish, Berbers, and Dravidians banned on the other side. Team Twat, they go for the Georgians, the Mongols, the Japanese, Malay, Italians, Hindustanis, Portuguese, Gujaras, Byzantines, Magyars, Mayans, Chinese, and Armenians. So at least we've started to throw in a couple, like a camel civ, which is nice to have. I think on more standardy maps, certainly on Zimbabwe, I like a camel civ. I think they've been quite successful. I like that mix of open, but also still having to tear through some walls, and the fact that the wall off is at least likely to happen if not too much pressure has managed to be piled on early. That's nice to see. Shall we see if it's a nice game to watch, though, as we can hop on in. I didn't change their names. I'll change their names. It's Fanjus private sheets. And they can be Team Twats. And there we go, Crescent. Crescent it is. It's a fun map. I like Crescent. There is the sort of land bridge in between the two hills, well, the two crescents, two halves of the crescent, that the ships cannot pass through. You can wall it off at some point to stop easy nuisance raids. It's nice and open, so you get plenty of feudal aggression here. But even if you wall it off, if you've managed to secure some kind of water, you're very unlikely to stop landings. Plenty of fish to be grabbed in the middle, in the centre of the crescent, which can be a big boost to your eco. You cannot cross over on the right-hand side of the crescent, the opposite half of the crescent. That is for your navy. So you end up with a sort of like naval half and a non-naval half. But the fun of it is you don't know which of the flank players is going to end up having the land or which flank player is going to have the navy. So you have to have a sort of flexible idea about what your civs can do. Because you just got it. So you end up with both naval and like hybridy civs. It's good. It's fun. You end up with a sort of hyper pocket at the back. In this case, it is Pete playing as the Vikings and King Boo playing as the Georgians. I think the Georgians is probably the more traditional hyper pocket pick. Can I say, just look at my sexy stone? Sure. Let's look at Andy's sexy stone. Where's your sexy stone, Andy? Is that your sexy stone? It's a wall. Right. I guess it is a wall. I don't know if I would love that if that was my. I would rather make a wall and have access to my stone without it being removed. You know, I'm pressured by art, but you know what? C'est la vie. Also means that we can't actually access this northern side that easily. That's irritating. We've got plenty of gold and additional stone that we want to be taking. Vil moves over. We're docking to the north. Same for Ronan. Both of them, they understand their positions. Dock. Is that just scouting? It is just scouting. Dock. Okay. So Nathaniel going for a slightly further away position. End up with a nice open chunk for grabbing. We got front dock also for bread pudding. Now bread pudding Mayans this time. Okay. Now bread pudding, the last time we saw Team Twat play, went for some pretty aggressive plays. Landing was pretty important to them. And bread pudding was a little bit of an MVP. Landed over on the other side. We had plenty of pressure, but Mayans is a choice. I guess we're able to pump out archers. I'm expecting him to do the same thing. Yeah, like, exactly. Like, I'm expecting him to do the same thing because he went over and he dropped, like, double archery range, didn't he? And be a nuisance. So Andy's going to have to do some work locking off the front solo, and as we end up with some landings. Team Boo are a big fan of landing, but this time we've got docks at the front. It looks like there's going to be plenty of focus on maintaining water. Tusky docked on the left-hand side, which I like. I think we want our kind of Lithuanian player to be in a good spot to be joining in with pressure as quick as we can. Yeah, Vikings. I guess this, by putting your Vikings in your pocket spot, you're saying no matter where the Vikings end up, we're intending for the Vikings to go on water, right? So they, like, you don't want your Vikings to have to transition into your land defense if they end up in your flank position, like where Ronan is. Which is nice, and having Vietnamese here does mean that you know we're sort of going to know exactly who's facing up what. And it's good. A little bit of scout nuisance play. As all of them are together. Feudal Age lands for most players. Bread pudding. There's the landing. And it's immediate. Barracks down. Is there a response to it? Did we notice? I was sure we saw it. Archery range on the way down for Ronan. Spot out the Vil. I mean, denying the dock is really, really good. Dock will pop out. And I think we were convinced that they'd spotted it, but clearly not. Oh, God. No, no. Pudding. You've shown off your attack. You've shown off your attack, Pudding. Over on the other side, Fanjus is not letting them get away with it. He's landed himself. He is behind Nathaniel. Doing the same thing, but this time as the Bengalis. So I expected our watery player to be focusing on water, but no, Fanjus is like, nah, I ain't fucking with this. We're straight in on the defense. Blacksmith in. Tower denied. We're moving the tower further round. Putting the tower up first does mean that We do allow our opponent to dictate where their second tower will go. Does the landing get spotted out? I think it does. Nathaniel spots the tower, the barracks, and is immediately walling himself in. Boo, scouts in defense. Last time Boo built up his army at home and then transported it over, which is definitely really handy here because it means that we are able to react to this pressure coming in. Tusky. I think we expected this landing, and it's really nice that we managed to pick off all of the vills to stop any additional production. So now, as long as we can get rid of the archers... we've nabbed the sheep! Oh, we've nabbed the sheep! That's going to be irritating for poor Pete. But the mass up for Boo should be fine. I don't think Fanji's going to be... I mean, we've got a spear. And we're safe. I think Boo's defense has been fine. It's like, what additional advantage can we get with these villagers? Over on the other side, it's a bit of a scrap between Ronan, between our good guy and Happy the Andy. They should be pretty balanced overall, I think, in skill. But with Tusky coming over, it ends up being a little bit of a 2v1. Because Bread Pudding, so there's no support now for the flank player, right? Because Pudding's job is to go forward. But because Pudding is forward, now it's 2v1 on the flank. And so Happy the Andy has to hold, and he's fine. He's done a really good job of walling up, and thankfully he's got this magical stone that is protecting him on the left-hand side, which is really, really handy. Because there's going to be no support at all for him, because we've got Boo, who's having to defend from the archers. Ronan could have just stonewalled the land side. I think he should. I think he should. Certainly now that they're forward, I think, and we're trying to make sure that Andy's staying there. I think going forward and stonewalling here would be really, really useful. Pudding is pinging, heading over, trying to kill some of the fish, which would be handy. Ville's being pressured. Were we? I thought for a second we were going to try and transport more. The fact that Fanji's army is still alive is good for Fanji. He's going to be pretty happy with that. Andy's done a great job of stopping Bread Pudding from feeling the wrath of these archers. Ronan's micro was good, but I think the decision to come out and take the engagement is really, really good. Really, really good. So as it stands, with the landing, throwing Boo a little bit for a loop, and the fact that Andy has been fine. I mean, Bread Pudding has still managed to get so much damage. Like, still. Like, it was spotted. It was spotted. It was visible. It was semi-walled off. Nobody has been able to deal with Bread Pudding landings. And because the team Fanji has not, like, their defensive setup has not been as good. They've been receiving some damage. Diving under the TC fire ain't great, but that's only 4 vills that hopped in. Skirms are there, but it's like, how many additional vills are we going to lose here? I think, thankfully, only 1 or 2? 3? Oh, in the lobby they did ask for no Mayan landings. Well, they've been feeling the wrath of it. At least they've been walling it up to sort of stop it. But now Andy's been able to come forward and yeah. We're going to have to do an awful lot of work as our Viking and Vietnamese players. Castle Age on the way, but look at that. Here they go. I just need what I need is the total units And the total number of vills that Bread Pudding has killed across all of the sets with his landings. Because when other people try and do what Bread Pudding has been doing in these sets, it goes like this, and they do well, and then their army gets cleared up, and it's all fine, right? But Bread Pudding goes through a goddamn tear, goes through Purple's base, does some damage, goes through Yellow's base, does some damage, and hits Red's base as well. He's a landing geezer. Well, Army of Fanji is cleared up, but I imagine it semi-did its job. It allowed Castle Age to come in for both Ronan and Pete, who haven't received too much damage. But Crossbow and Bodkin in for Andy. And with the combined Archer army, they can hopefully do some good damage here. Crossbow in. And Pete, as the Vikings, not being able to put all of his attention onto the water here with the army in front of his base is it's going to be pretty rough. We're going to definitely need some stables down for Tusky as he makes his first stable, but we've not got many on gold, so we can't really two-stable this. And a one-stable trickle against this number of crossbows and archers? Fair play, Ronan. Dives in, clears up the crossbow mass with feudal archers. Knows that it's going to be a rough fight, but just takes it to make sure that his ally stays alive. Sick. Sick. Really good from the good guy. That did great work. That was tidy. Really like that. Good dive in. Problem is that it does mean now that Ronan's army is gone. And we were going for university. I think we needed a siege workshop, if I'm being honest. Because now we don't have the archer numbers. Like, we're getting university before we've even got crossbow. We've got Bodkin, which is great, but crossbow's not in. The Vills are going to be forced off gold. Imagine if we had like a mangonel or two that we could try and keep alive. Just put some threats in, but with the light cav and the crossbow, I think Ronan's going to lose some numbers. Thankfully, we've got a second TC that we can run to. The wall-off isn't that good. The wall-off wasn't timed quite right, and that's more Vills going down. 178 to 213 in Vills. Military mass definitely in favour of Team Twat. And that's good damage. That's very, very good damage. They're keeping an eye out. They're aware of denying some additional docks out of Fanji, who's trying to go for a 3TC, but the Navy is completely lost out to Nathaniel, who is just able to just stick to water play. He was just able to stick to water as he was supposed to. No water control at all for Fanji's privates. And with the raids, with the lack of water, yes, they've finally cleared up Bread Pudding with a very strategically placed ram, which I do like. I think, yeah, it is true. Playing water is hard with archers on your gold, and even when we were at the point where we were like docks up and we were ready to start to restabilize, the archers of blue, like Andy's archer crossbows, were on the way through, so we weren't able to even stop producing on land to save our res for the water push. It was just like a series of particularly unfortunate events for Pete. And without the backup, they know it. Fanji calls GG as the Team Twat take game number 1. Definitely, like this is a like a semi-home map for these guys. I don't know if I'd ever really want to be leaving it open to bump source on this. Like, have they lost it yet? Because I think they've won it every time I've cast it. It's gross. It's gross. It's gross and it's dirty. Did that wrong. Okay, so that ticks off Lithuanian loss and Viking loss and was it Vietnamese? I've already forgotten. The other side, it was a Georgian win. It was Vietnamese. Mayan pocket. Of course it was a Mayan pocket. I knew we all knew that. I don't remember what the rest were. There was archers, Bengalis for Fanji. Where even are they? There. Malay and Biz. Malay? Yeah, it wasn't not Biz. It was Italians. Right. Watery. Good, great. Good game one. And that means that we will be moving on to, I'm assuming, the home map of Fanji's private sheets, which should be Zimbabwe. So, what will that be? Cumans? Probably. I think Cumans on Zimbabwe is a thing we've seen before. So what? Cumans, Britons. Do we Khmer on this one? Maybe. Could be Huns. Could be Malians. Having a camel option in there could be good. Probably one a Paladin Civ, whether that's Huns or Franks or Teutons. That's probably fine. I'm expecting Mongols, Gujaras, or Hindustan. We've got two. We could go for either. So Mongols, Hindustanis. We've got Byzantines and Magyars. I'm expecting Armenians maybe on Two Rivers. We'll see. We'll see. What do I know? I'm not a... It's Two Rivers game 2 as Fanji asked for it. Okay. Okay. Fanji's gaming. That's okay. It is indeed Two Rivers. The lack of Huns on either side speaks to the lack of class of all of these competitors. Well, thankfully, Ronan is clearly a Huns enjoyer, because we're going to go into game number 2. We're going to swap out some of the players. So we've got Tomad joining us, and we also have Daisy. Daisy coming in as the Malians this time. You shall see. Well, thank you, Andy. Two Rivers. We've got Hindustanis, Byzantines, Japanese, and Magyars versus Britons, Ethiopians, Huns, and Malians. Yeah, nobody's missed much. Yeah. There you go. See, Kansky? All is well. Huns are alive and kicking. And we are live and kicking too. Fanji's Private Sheets versus Team Twat in GB Draft 2. We've got Daisy as the Malians, best civ in the game, and Fanji as the Britons. We've got Happy the Andy, kind of in that vulnerable spot. Ronan, Huns as we wanted, Ethiopians, Japanese, Hindustanis. I'm not just concerned over the fact that Daisy's not going to make Swans, Hopsy. I think it's a foregone conclusion. I also think that if we look over at King Boo, I think King Boo is also not going to make swords, and that I think that's a little tragic. I'm expecting lots of archers. You thinking King Boo is a possible sword? Like, he could, but I'm expecting like Farimba Cav eventually. I'm expecting Britain archers. I'm expecting Byzantines. It's happy the end. It's just gonna be fucking skirms, isn't it? It's just gonna be loads of sodding skirms. Nathaniel, Cav archers. Tomad, camels. And maybe late game hand cannons. Pete, Ethiopian archers. And Huns. I mean, will Ronan Cav Archer? Ronan probably Cav Archer's here, right? He's a good guy. He's probably Cav Archering. But they might need some kind of, like, paladin or something. We'll see. It depends if it gets that far. You've also got to take into account that water is important along the two rivers. You don't want to completely neglect it, because obviously cannon galleons can be particularly effective if you've got control of both rivers. It means that you've got the ability to push at any point on the map. Big control, and makes it hard to get any lockdown, super safe trade, unless you are like all the way of a corner. Also, the teams are spread out into little sort of L shapes. So you don't have complete access to like a trade line. And other than if you necessarily are able to lock off your side and you trade like this way. But the pathing is bad because you end up having your units go all the way forward just to go over the shallows that are over the two rivers, which is, it's not ideal. It's normally, I would say, relatively important to try and secure yourself by pushing back your nearest opponent at the front. You want to put a bit of investment into getting them back so you can have access to trade along the more landy side. You did indeed miss the entirety of Robo versus Acro, Hopsy. I'm so sorry. And it was really quite long. It went on for quite some time. Like, it was back and forthy games, slightly more enclosed, like arena went on for a dog's age. But it was good. It was a good set. I enjoyed it. Barracks on the way down for Fanjita. That's Britain flank. Already planning to do a little bit of walling up. Dock is down, and Dock is down. Getting that additional fish eco is real handy. It looks like everybody has gone for it in one way, shape or form. And double dock for Tomad. Do you think Tomad went all the way over to the left for safety? Because this going all the way over here really delayed like getting additional fish out. We've actually only got one fish. Now, obviously, Tomad is the lowest rated player in the map in 1v1s, I think. So, yeah. Obviously, because Daisy's smurfing, so... I'm saying it's for efficiency. Well, oh god, no, do we... No, Tomad. Oh no, we do see it. So we're walling off this one first, and maybe then this one? Hmm. I love this commitment. He learned that last year on Team Robo. Well, he's done it. Gotta tap them all? Well, it is definitely going to stop you being able to dive in. Look at that. King Boo, he goes for the Japanese militia. Militia? So, you know, they hit Feudal Age. They do now get the faster attack rate. So, you know, I guess technically you don't need to bother. And he isn't. He isn't bothering. He didn't want to waste a man-at-arms upgrade. It's only the 2, and it's to do a little bit of nuisance damage. And actually, it's very lucky that Pete went and did the slap down there on the on the house, because they would have got in, and that would have been maybe not 2 dead units, but that would have been just a little bit irritating. Another Okay. Yeah, no, considers him safe. He's fine. He's like, I don't need to block this one off because my ally has managed to wall all over. Groovy. Love it. Watch Boo greed an FC off this Drosh. Yeah, these aren't, they're not swords, they're clubs. Until it's got a sword, that's a club. Militias suck. I'm not about that Drosh life. I'm not about that Drosh life at all. And neither should they. Look at this. Happy the Andy knows that he is the vulnerable player in this matchup. And he does not want to face the full wrath of Fanjita. So he stonewalls up. We have an archery range down, and we're poking away with a singular spear, but we're relatively safe. Everybody's stonewalling up. Ronan stonewalling up. The GB community is doing their thing. I also enjoy that Daisy's like, I don't trust this. I don't trust this. They're gonna come through here. Let's just wall it off just in case. Two Rivers is just Regicide Fortress with extra steps. If you're a GB player, clearly it is true. Hey, nice little dive over. We've clearly won our water over on this side. Keeping them wary. Ronan doesn't have the numbers to contend with Tomad, or possibly not the skills. Tomad OP, please nerf. But we did at least. Did we? I don't think we tapped the other one, so I think that's a hole, right? Let me click the click the one behind it. I want that one. I don't think that's been tapped. So there is a gap. There is the potential to get in there. We do at least realise that there is a potential vulnerability there. But the archers arrive. Fanji wants to put some pressure on Nathaniel. Effectively ignoring Huggy G, going straight for the more pocket-based player. Nathaniel pulls his scouts back to clear this up, and that should be enough scouts to get rid of it. But the house is gone, and we do. We're teamworking it. Teamwork makes the dream work. Archers in, skirmishers coming over to play defense, so we should be A-okay. Should spot them out. And it's possibly a surround. The archers should just run away at this point. Like, we're not going to be able to do any damage here now. But I guess if they kite with with the galleys, they try and stay alive there. Over on side Tomad. The Ronan-Tomad fight keeps going on. The Tomad micro looking. It's looking. It's still a pretty close fight. 8-7. Nice demo from Boo. Helps level it out. There is more galleys, actually, from Ronan if he just pulls back and takes them all together, but instead hasn't fully regrouped, so we're always just sort of like trickling the occasional one in, and it is allowing Tomad to fight this out almost to similar numbers. Micro is maybe a little over microed for Tomad. All the while, archers pulled back, chased away by the skirmishers. Skirmishers staying just a little bit out of range of the galleys. Market on the way down for Happy the Andy. Castle Age now in for Daisy, who goes for an immediate 3TC boom approach while supporting with galleys. Tomad still, even with a little bit of a over micro, is done fine. Castle Age is in for Nathaniel as well, who goes for a second TC, but maybe can't afford a third. Castle Age is going to hit in for Fanjita, who is probably just going to go for upgrades. And a second TC. Third TC. Okay, Fanji's booming. We were waiting for those upgrades to come in before we took the dive. And, yeah, kill with... Ooh! Yeah, it is them cheap TCs. It was a sneaky demo. Popping out from Andy there. Well, we clear up the army. We do kill a few of the archers, but that's maybe not quite enough. As Nathaniel is in Castle Age, has some knights himself. Second armor and second attack is in. So actually, if we get to like 4 or 5 of them, we should be pretty good here. The fact that we did that so swift is pretty groovy. And just the fear of the demos, keeping them just a little on the back foot. It is 9 for 9. HP advantage is actually there for Ronan. Give my opinion on Boo making Elite Skirmisher. As the Japanese here against the Ethiopians, I think it's fine. If anything, it might be necessary. It's full hamster play. I don't like it, but I think it might be the correct thing to do in this situation. Mangonel in play. Will it get microed down? It does not. Right, nice little dive in. I don't know if we managed to achieve a huge amount. That small army gets cleared up by Nathaniel. And all the while, Daisy's 4 TCs booming up. Like, this is not a Marlian swordsy play. This is most assuredly kind of mid-game Marlian cav. And to be honest, mixing in Farimba here is not a bad shout, especially with the fact that Tomad is on the way to Castle Age but doesn't have the eco to join in. Is so kind of hemmed in onto going for water against Ronan, which is perfect actually. Like, Yuhan player probably not the most important in this matchup considering where the positions of everything is ended up. Can we get some big shots? Can we get some big shots? It's a 1 for 1, but we lose the mango as well. Did that just get skirmed down? I think we got skirmed down, right? We've been just chipping away. Oh, got a bit of stray damage. So yeah, technically 2 for 1. Much better there for King Boo. And now it's skirm versus crossbow, and obviously they're Ethiopian skirm, so they're super fast firing, which, you know, compared to so many other ones, they get the damage down onto the elite skirms, but it's doing good stuff here. Tomad only just landing in. War Galley will come in now, and with a bit of micro, actually the timing ends up being a great engagement there for Tomad. any self-respecting captain should be able to outsword the Ethiopian archers. But is King Boo a self-respecting captain? I'm not sure he is. Is there anything about King Boo that should be respected? Bear in mind that King Boo, for a while, was seen as, other than maybe Hallis, the best UK player, potentially the best GB player. And then to allow it so Lewis is the best UK player is, I think one of Boo's greatest failures. And I don't know how he's ever going to recover from that. There has been... Bear in mind that the Hindustanis are normally a pretty boomy civ, right? Like, they've got an excellent boom. And the fact that that hasn't kicked in to play means that we're not going to be to similar cav numbers at all compared to Daisy. And I agree. Fanji and Daisy being able to just sort of have free reign of it has been really, really good. 60 vils to 64 isn't too dissimilar, and I think a lot of that might be down to the fact that no, it's not. It's 312 to 240. I was looking at the military. No, it is. There is quite a difference. Poor Tomad, panning to his base when he has 10 idols next to a house. Look, sometimes the casting curses, they go your way. Other times they do not. But you know, we do have 3 TCs. We're going to start booming. Imp is on the way in though for both Pete and Daisy. Forward castle into Imp Trebs. Andy also on the way up though. I don't mind this castle, but Daisy's actually going to be able to make cannon galleons herself if she wants. Bloodlines. No castle up for Daisy yet. Would be nice. 117 vils is groovy. Imp. On the way in for anybody else? Even close for anybody else? Not particularly. Not a huge amount on food. I think Team Boo is going to see, like, Tomad's going to be feeling pretty happy with himself that he's managed to win water. Well done, Tomad. Oh. Oh, are we bringing the whole army to deal with? Thank you. Yeah, 4 that's better. It's like, dude, I think there might be bigger fish to fry. Imp now in, Arb, Ballistics, Bracer, and the first of the Britain Trebs on the way out. You could hear Tomad screams from here. And it gets denied. Tomad, no. It's called a stable. We just need a stable. We have units. Oh god. 71 volts. I'm dead, guys. Help! It's two nights. Ah, and some camels. Speaking of dead guys, Farimba comes in. Heavy camel upgrade in for the Malians as well. But considering what we've got on the field, I think Cavalier might have been the vibe to start off with. Like, I don't think we've got to worry too much about Magyar Knights compared to the Imp Malian Cavalier. Like, we'll slap that fight every day of the week. Why is Andy making stables? I have no clue. Maybe he wanted camels of his own. Like Cav. Panic. Well, either way, Andy has lost that position at the front. Managed to save 40 villagers, maybe? No, there's still another 11, so maybe saves 30. And there is no answer to this Farimba Arb push on this northern side. Maybe if we'd had some wall ups to kind of like at least hold the push for a while. But we're gonna be hemmed in, and Andy's gonna be out of it for a little bit. Funny enough, if Andy was full skirm, he'd probably be in a better spot. But then we'd have two full skirms on either side. Yeah. Cavalier on the way in for the Magyars. And Paladin. Oh boy, can we keep this mass of 30 Cavalier alive for 2.5 minutes to make Paladin worthwhile? And how many of our vills will we have lost by the time Paladin comes in? Because there are 36 Farimba camels here. Like, they are shredding. They kill so much, so fast, so quick. The damage output. So we don't want to be taking that fight, but even if Paladin comes in, that's 33 Paladin versus 28 Farimba camels? I don't know if that's a fight that you win, especially when they've got the backup of Arbaleths with it. So it's like, yeah. And we're just trying to avoid taking the fight until Paladin's in, but like, how much are we gonna lose? And then you've got the next wave of Farimba camels. It's like, Paladin ain't gonna save you, dude. Paladin ain't gonna do shit. Paladin ain't gonna do shit against this. Oh dear. And it's a full rout, and we try and take the engagement, but we're gonna get a full surround. Paladin lands. Paladin versus Arb Farimba Camel. How does that go? Well, it's not a great engagement for the Farimba Camels. We get a little bit of a surround. We get rid of half of the Arb mass, but we're going to lose all of those Paladins because it's Farimba Camels, mate. And they're not. They were just waiting. They were just waiting for Paladin to come in so they could call GG, and GG it comes. So yeah, rough. An effectively uninterrupted boom for Daisy and Fanji allows good stuff. The captain for Boo is potentially too far away from the action. Just ends up trapped in a 1v1 against Pete. A 1v1 that he wasn't necessarily winning either. Just having the ability to have Ronan join in a little bit, Ronan taking the water pressure and stuff. Yeah, good play. Good play. So, turns out Fanji's private sheets can clap back. I think Nathaniel thinks Paladins are Cobra Cars. Cobra Cars are OP, please nerf. But it's just Marlian things. Great free boom on the Mega Marlian pocket. And maybe that's the thing. Maybe having like Nathaniel lean onto water a little bit more instead of Tomad, and allow Tomad to boom up as the Hindustanis. Because if there's any Civ that's going to do pretty good against the Marlians, it's Hindustani camels, right? Like, that. Even with the bonus, the additional damage, Hindustani camels are just so good. Could have been a thing. Could have been a thing. Okay, well let's head over to the pub TV, and that's a win with Britons. That is a win with Huns and Marlians. and Ethiopians, and that's a loss with Japanese and Byzantines and Magyars and Hindustanis, leaving us over with Mongols, Gujaras, Portuguese, Chinese, and Armenians. Oh no, one of those has been used. Which one? Wasn't a camel sieve. Wasn't Portuguese. Wasn't Mongols. That had to be Armenians or Chinese. I don't remember. I'll look. Maybe I'm wrong. 5. Oh yeah, no, there's meant to be 5. Yeah, fine. You do like Mayans. You do, and you do good with them. That seems to be pretty darn consistent. Oh, that's why. You're right. Thank you, Hopsy. I need more people like you. It's necessary. Okay, so that means that now we'll be moving to Fanji's the private sheet's home map of Zimbabwe. After taking their opponent's 2 rivers. But I mean, the real home map of Team Twat is Crescent, right? Like, they're filthy at Crescent. And it's purely down to Pudding. Like, Pudding is painfully predictable, but it just works. It just works, and it's effective, and nobody seems to counter it or take it seriously enough, and then the damage comes in. And I guess if you put too much attention on it as well, you might overreact to the landing and fuck up elsewhere. So it's a good strat. It's a good strat, and it's been working well executed. Right, well, let me load up the third and final game of this set. Zimbabwe, which I don't know, might be my favourite map of the pick. I'm not sure. Like, who? But it doesn't matter, right? Like, the whole point of a Pudding late feudal play is, as in like being in feudal late, is that you're doing plenty of damage. And it might be something that I do towards the end of the group stages. I might just go through every single Pudding Crescent game and find just how many vills you kill with archers across the whole tournament, because I am convinced that there is a number. Like, there is definitely a number, and it's more than one. Well, this is Zimbabwe. Nathaniel, Bread Pudding, King Boo, and Andy facing up against Fanji, Ronan, Tusky, and Pete. So Tusky in the flank over on this side, and Pete over on the hillside. We've got Koreans, Khmer, Cumans, and Teutons. Okay. And over on the other side, we've got Mongols, Gujaras, Chinese, and Portuguese for Boo. Is gonna? Do you think Boo would ever? No deaths yet. No deaths yet. Loom is for people like me. Boo. Loom is for people like me. And this map and this map terrain is is for making my shirt blend in. Like, I feel like I'm wearing camo. I'm just here blending in with the desert. I only appear when it's green. Not that there's much green on this map, is there? I mean, it's here the only bit of almost green. Somebody needs to look at the water table on this map because it ain't happy. Nathaniel TC. Looking at Nathaniel T. Oh. When did it happen? When did it happen? When did it happen? There she is. Doof. It's right, yeah. You just don't mention it. And at least he didn't see. At least he didn't lose the Vil, then try and pull the boar in, and to mask his frustration, keep the Vils garrisoned in the tower 1 second too long, and and then kill the boar. So you know that at least that didn't happen. That's nice. Nobody else seems to be flubbing it. Guys, this is not my best Dark Age. But I mean, it's fine. What's the idle time been along with that? It might not be Andy's best Dark Age. It might not be Andy's best Dark Age. Oh shit, no, he's Chinese. 40 seconds TC. I mean... Okay. Yeah. Are you happy if you keep it under a minute? Like, what? I thought 40 seconds is probably at the upper limit of that, right? Like, he's still up a Vil. Okay. Up 1 Vil. That's the thing. You end up 1 Vil. But... like, it's so much fat. It's such a ball ache to end up with a 1 Vil lead. Ugh. My dad, it's not for me. Deer are the worst. Tusky pulling in the elephant. Feudal Age landing for most people. For most people, we are missing a Pete Feudal Age, and we are missing a Boo Feudal Age. Which, okay, both of our sort of pockets going for aggro. Fanji is towering. I think it's going to get spotted though, isn't it? 8 Vils forward, tower pressure. Boo potentially vulnerable to this as well. It's towers to protect, second TC for good guy. Hey, Tusky's a gamer. We know Tusky's a gamer. Scouts on the way over to back this up. And the tower finishes. Walling off to the TC, but we're walling with palisade gates. Do we stone here? I think you want to stone here. Oh, we can't stone here. We're in Dark Age. It's the only choice. Probably should have been a house instead of 2 palisades, but I guess it's costly. Feudal Age on the way in. And what do? I guess we go in, whack a second tower, batter our way through, and try and force them off the res. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. It's 2 towers on the way in for Fanji. 3 towers. No, just 2. Just 2. Feudal Age lands, and we go for a second layer of palisade walls. Immediately realise that we're under a little bit of pressure from the TC, so readjust, pull the tower back. Fanji going for bold plays. We're still only one wall here. Market, blacksmith, Boo's defending. It is a good game. It's not bad. It's not bad at all, and I like the attempt at pressure. Happy the Andy. He's whacking down on a house, and over on the side we're getting a bit of a scout war between Tusky and Nathaniel. Spear will sort of push that back, but nobody losing out too much. Wall off on the gold has been good. But the scouts not necessarily achieving a huge amount against Pete right now, who seemed well prepped for pressure. Over on this side, we do break through. We are now stonewalling, and Castle Age is on the way in. So this tower push is done. Like, it's not managed to achieve what it needed to. It didn't disrupt the uptime. We're going to be on our way to Castle Age. We're going to finish, get a castle up, and start making organ guns. So I think Boo's pretty happy with this, and he'll be pretty happy with how his defense of the tower push went. And with the stone walls coming up, I imagine we're just going to pull back. Has Boo got the stone? I think he will do by the time he gets there. Yeah, comfortably. The real question is if he's going to have the food. Walling up over on this side, it's palisades, and it's blocked. Will we get a Vil kill? Yes, especially with the additional Tusky stuff coming over. Spear. We save it! Damn! Damn, Nathaniel! Scouts hit onto the berries. Do we pick one? Do we pick one? Do we pick one? Damn, Nathaniel! Like, Nathaniel has saved 3 freaking 1 HP, 4 HP, 4 HP. Oh, filthy, 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 filthy. Nobody being able to kill any Vils today. It's except Happy the Andy, who has picked off some on berries, I assume, with the archers coming in. They forced the gold Vils back, so Andy, currently top score, leaping in. Gaia also has some kills. That's true. Gaia has some kills because Nathaniel has not had the best start, and neither... Yeah. Ooh, God. And then scouts coming in as well. We've got some spears and some scouts of our own in defense, so we can probably hold, but it's just the maneuverability. If we try and take the engagement, like, we can kind of split past. I like how we've managed to wall in a safe wood line. It's really nice. Putting some pressure over on the other side, and Grey is it. Like, Grey's joined. The fact that it's not often that I've got to see like the smaller to the TC walls, which I really like, actually. We've seen a fair few attempts of like the big long walls, and we've seen that fail. So I'm really happy that we're seeing the sort of like the upgraded version, let's say, of the small walls that have been, I would say, far better. And Pete is now fucked. He's on the way to Castle Age, had to buy his way up with Market. His Vils aren't idle, but they ain't happy about it, as Andy's doing some great idling himself. Boo manages to get in, and at least Pudding is also walled off, but they can probably turn their attention over to Pudding's side and get through some houses. It's only stone walls. Fanji in panic. Feudal Age is still in for everybody on Fanji's team. Castle Age just landing for Ronan. What's Ronan's defense going to be? Are we going to double stable knights? Are we going to double stable knights? It's something. Andy getting that surround. What's our choice going to be when we hit Castle Age? Are we going to try and get castles? The towers are doing good work. We're just trying to out micro the we could. We forced them off gold. Towers cleared. Scouts in. We went for 2 TCs. Oh, it's Cumans, of course. We were already 2 TCs. But now what do we do off the back of this? Get up to a Night Mass? Get up to a Night Mass against Organ Guns and Scout Cav. Anybody able to go monks? It does look pretty rough for Team Fanji. But defensive castle will be in. Crossbow. I guess I don't know necessarily why we moved away. I guess we were coming to try and join in on Ronan. And we do get a few pickoffs. Some absolute damage. Good pressure. And like Fanji, he's kind of stuck there over on the other side. Nathaniel trying to dive in, see if we can get some damage with their own scouts. And all of this means that we're able to stonewall up, get an economy rolling. We're pretty much untouched. Taking wood from further afield. And pushes the crossbows back. Yeah, 50 to 10 army. It's all good. It's all good. It's okay. We've got some war wagons out. War wagons win this, right? War wagons win this. Now, if you're Team Twat, right, in this position, and you've all got to Castle Age at nice times, your ecos are pretty much unmolested, you're feeling like you've been putting your pressure on your opponent. If you lose this game, how do you do? How do you do? How do you do? I give them a chance. Bear in mind, like, the eco is actually super equivalent. The military can't kill them off now. Castle's up, so we're relatively protected. It's Koreans as well, so its guard tower is in. So we are receiving some more damage. Reaction to that was slow. So we're not dead, but that's rough. That's actually really rough. The value that we managed to get from that, the light cav, is actually filthy. But we've got extra TCs down, so you know we're able to produce. And nobody other than Pete now, after losing all of those vills, is too far behind. And at least Pete's gold is relatively safe, and we're getting up to a mass of human knights. It's just camels on the field. At the moment, nothing really to deal with the camels. Organs, redemption is in for Fanji, and he's Teutons, so we're able to hold this, and with small number of monks, we push back Boo, who is starting to plan his own boo. He's going to be booming. There is a potential that Naked FC is not great versus Feudal Army, maybe. There is some truth to be that. Don't boo the pun. You can't boo the pun. Hey Otter. Hola. How you doing? How was the first DM? Is that today? That's tonight, right? First DM. Maxi. I don't know who he's playing. 20 GMT. Nice. Nice. I'll be casting more of this at that time. That'll be a good set. Maxi versus Jembo. I hope Jembo gets a he's been putting a little bit of practice in. Played some games with GG out and he's good. I'm glad we're getting some good players in. It makes it a little bit more exciting. Okay, Green decided to change tact and come over and hit Tusky. Tusky, who doesn't have anything over with him, as we just dive in and start whacking on Vils. Oh, it's like a shotgun. Oh, God. Oh, God. Poor Tusky. It's rough ski for Tusky. 120 military to 52, so double the military. Eco is also starting to fall behind as well. Pressure on both sides. No walling, no safety, military surrounding. The motivation of being able to bully Tusky is empowered Boo. It has definitely done something. It has definitely done something. There's no real response to the military that is out. Like, there's no counters. We're not up to the numbers. I'm going to have to get some conversions in play. Ronan's got a good number of knights. Like he wins. He wins this if he takes it. But that's if he takes it, and he doesn't seem confident that he can win it. What do you mean, no he doesn't? He wins this. He can win that. That's only 8 camels. He's got 33. That's only 23 organs, and I didn't think organs did great damage to Nightline. Mango shots. Now he does, and there's more camels over. Organs aren't that OP. Clearly they are. I bow to your superior wisdom. It's just at the moment all they're doing is taking damage and not taking a fight, and the numbers over the other side are trickling up and up and up. And it's like our numbers are going up, but it's the numbers of one player increasing against the number of 2 players, and I just think that ends up being a worse and worse fight. Good mango shot though. That's nice. That's nice. But the camel numbers were good. The camel numbers were great. Let Tusky cook and he will carry. Well, can he carry when Bum Sauce comes running in with his rum sauce, raids in the back? There's now enough camels to do whatever the hell they want. And there's no real response over here on this left-hand side. They don't want to allow Tusky to cook. Instead, Imp is going to land in for both Boo and Andy. I think if that fight was taken when there was only 8 camels, that we'd be in a much better spot than when we take the same fight when there's like 20 camels. Yeah, well, when both of your sort of flank players sort of get toasted, forced off gold for Pete, didn't really secure our sides, that does have an effect. With Imp in, Chemistry, Elite Organ Gun upgrade in, so I'm assuming we're going to start throwing some cannons into the mix. Imp is in for Fanjita though, so, you know, we're going for full monk defense. Go in Imp so we can get some more monks on the field. And if your opponent has organs, maybe we can convert some. Castle. forward for Happy the Andy. Getting two-man saw and forging. Arquebus in for the... I mean, he's like... ballistic-y gunpowder, man. I too don't think only monks can hold this. I think this might be a tough one for Team Fanji to win. So I think Boo ended up lucking out with his team, right? Like grabbing rum sauce has been such a boon to the squad. Really, like clear, funky play style. But has fit into the sort of synergy of how happy they are to play with it being messy. Yeah. well, it worked. It worked. I mean, the monk conversions weren't bad. Actually, but the organ guns have done great work. The entire military of Ronan is cleared up before Imp lands. He's a good guy, but maybe he is goodbye. And Team Twat comfy triple the military. It is a GG call to me, like right there. Losing TCs to Arb. Trebs out, no position, military in play, rum sauce hitting Imp, everybody hitting Imp. On the way to Imp for Tusky and Pete. So, I mean, fair play to be able to reach Imp when we've been receiving damage and had pressure on top of us. Ronan is in Imp. Gets going for Cavalier. Against the two civs going camel. Always always good, right? Always good. Camel halb. Bread pudding gets one civ pick per set and it's always Mayans. Hey, and does it work every time? Correct. So I think that you should get a second civ pick. I think that everybody else should pick Mayans, so you have it. It's been a total win for you guys. So yeah, gotta encourage the pudding. The rum sauce has to be let to cook. Pick Gujaras on Zimbabwe. Well, it's been good. It's been good. Zimbabwe's a good map. I like that balance of open and the fact that you've got the central closed bit and then all the food down to the south. The north is way less important in team games than it is in 1v1s because, you know, you can secure the side and trade, but like it's a very important area to secure. You don't want them to get completely free access to all of the gold up here because it is still a lot. And then GG rolls in. Team Twat. 2 games to 1. Picking up Fanji's home map. These twats, man. These twats. Solid team. Solid team. Like, good hold. It was I like the idea behind what Fanji did. And I think they really wanted to get the timing right to deny the Portuguese. I think it was supposed to be dealing with this exact Portuguese play. Was wanted to try and force them off the res, but the response was really good. And as soon as we got the stone walls up, it was done. Like, I really liked going for that 8 Vils coming forward, battering through, so we're able to start putting that pressure on as soon as we hit feudal age, which was great, especially if you're going against somebody being greedy and trying to hit castle. I think it's a good strat, and it could have played out, but Boo's defense was just on point. Rewalling, didn't panic. shocking, really, for a 2K2 player. Well, there we go. We cast them. It's now 4:30. Groovy. I've got Boo cooked bread, bread cooked. Nath nerfed himself. Absolute gamer set. It was a great set. Really good. All of these guys know how to play, and that's always nice. I know none of these captains were brave enough to pick me in a set, but that's okay. I forgive them all. You know, one day I'll get over it. I don't, you know, I'm not gonna hold it against everybody for ever and ever and ever. But it has allowed me to cast every set that I've wanted to, which has been nice. I'm enjoying it. Gonna do another set this evening, probably on Happy the Andy stream. I will co-cast with him. It's time for Andy to do some casting instead of playing. And then I will also cast a set tomorrow night. Yeah. It's like... It's if we want to split it. Like, do we want to split it, or do we just have the other one cast with Rex? I don't know. I mean, I don't mind. I'm flexible. People can choose. What I'm less flexible on is that I said I would cast a Fluffy Bunny game that he sent through, that Otter redeemed for him. So that's a requirement. So I've got to do that as a sort of wind down. Then I'll have a break for a little bit until I cast the next one. Yeah, I think we cast. I'll co-cast with you, and then you cast the set tomorrow during the day, and then yeah, I think that just works. I think that's nice. And I'm casting the set Tuesday evening. I just think it's a nice spread out. Gives people something to watch during the day. You know, when everybody's supposed to be working, instead of them all posting bollocks in shit opinion general, they can watch some Age of Empires instead. Which for me, big wins, big wins. Speaking of big wins, I'm going to see some big wins from Fluffy Bunny. So I have a game downloaded. On 4 lakes. I have no idea what the aim will be. What the focus is, but this is a redeem, so you know, one last one for the end of the day. Let's disable the scoreboard. Why not? As we you know, the thing is if people send me Rex to cast, and if I cast it and it doesn't involve some kind of sword play, like what? Why would anybody send it to me? Like, what's the point? I'm only here to admire your swords. It's like if you're not swording, you've sent me multiple games that don't have swords. I'm a certain. I can't help myself. I'm a sword addict. Sent me triple douche into Persian sword sculpts. Did I not cast that one though? That sounds like something I casted. The require. God, the requirement to deer push, man. I can't do it. Don't remember casting. I would never not cast unless I was busy, and then I would not cast. That it does happen. So I didn't sign up for the recent Tarnished Deathmatch series just because I know I'm gonna be too busy with. Oh, hello, darling. You okay? Too busy with work, and also I want to be able to do some casting. And if Cat is precariously walking over all of the tech stuff, if I was playing, I guarantee that midway through, whenever I'd be available to do a cast, is when somebody would ask to play, and then if I've got a game scheduled, I don't have the headspace to be able to like cast for an hour, play for an hour and a half, and then go casting again. And I don't want to play on stream ever, so it just gets in the way of casting. And I'd much rather be following the tournaments and casting them than playing in them, because I'm a terrible player. terrible player. That's what they say about me. They go, "Hey, that Tom, he's a terrible player. You gotta watch your wives around him." Oh boy. Doc is out for PP as the Lithuanians, and Fluffy Bunny is the Malay. He's going for a dock, but way later, so not getting the full effect of the Dark Age docking. 6 on wood though. So maybe just a little bit mistimed. But PPP has 16 seconds of TC idle time, but with the additional 2 fishing ships that have been working for a little while, that's great for him. What's also great is that he could have he could have denied that dock with his scout for a little bit, which would have been an extra irritating. Loom is in though, which is handy for Bunny. Getting some searching in. Like, is he clicking? He did. He did. He sent it round. It felt almost auto-scouty with how he went underneath the TC. There we are. We are walling big. We are walling very big. Interesting. Are we also going to wall like all the way here as well? Fun. 4 lakes can have some pretty weird map gens. Sometimes you can end up with a pretty securable area. You can see this time it's super open on this right hand side, plus a hill that can be pretty rough to defend, especially when we've got gold and stone in an exposed space. So everything in slightly non-ideal spots, and Bunny, not Andy. Bunny is sending a Vil forward to go and dock his opponent's side. I'm not seeing anything similar out of PPP, who has killed a scout. I'm assuming. Didn't see where it went, but I saw the reaction to it in the chat. Did it just path into a slightly irritating place for itself? Oh, nice. That's good. That's good. Not like.
Yes.
That's pretty sick, right? That's pretty sick. That like the pulling the Vils back to bait the scout in, and then trapping it against the wood line between the trees, and then just battering it down. Oh, smooth. I couldn't pull that off if I tried. Well, back to where we were as the Vil continues his march over onto PP's side of the base, and PP is sus. Bringing his scout over. Right there. Sees it with the Vil. Pulls it with the scout. Amazing foresight. Amazing foresight. Andy tries to get some walls round. Doesn't manage to do it. There's no way we're going to be able to do both, especially with the scout being a nuisance. So Vil goes down. Andy's sneak is denied. What amazing foresight from PPP. From PP. He's cool. He's got that big brain. Big brain on PP. He knew that Andy was the kind of person that would send a Vil. He couldn't help himself. Put the scout in exactly the ideal spot to find that as well. Really good foresight. Andy, I don't know why I keep saying Andy. I keep thinking of Fluffy as Andy, and it's not. It's Fluffy. It's because it's two of my favourite people, and in my heart they're almost equivalent. You're definitely not PP. And if you were, you'd be a big one, not a small one. Yeah, there you go. It's smooth, right? Smooth. Castle Age on the way in for PP. No Castle Age on the way in for Fluffy Bunny, but he is at least on water. Seven fishermen fishing versus 7 fishermen fishing. Scout goes forward, barracks down. Obviously, Malay get some funky ass timings themselves, so like even though we are on the way to Castle Age, it won't be a million miles until the Malay are on the way as well. What was Fluff doing to have all of that idle time? Literally over microing. I bet you when like he's got plenty of food in the bank. I bet that the idle time starts ticking up now. So Vil, that has been spotted, is inevitable that it's going to die. There's been Vil's worth of TC idle time. So we've lost 2 Vils, effectively, to this. So yeah, it's just though, just micro things, right? Just micro things. We've all been there, right? We've all been there. Sometimes you want to get that micro moment in for the value. Right, Castle Age, soon to be landing. Thank you, Atten. It's because it's almost the evening now. Like, end of the day starts in 15 minutes for everybody. Stable is going to come up first for the Lithuanians. And what's going to be the play? What's going to be the play here? Why is Atten a mod? Because we do. It's true. We have a mutual appreciation of swords, and Atten is one of my first teammates. So it's unfortunately it's just the way it has to go. If you pair up with me in a 2v2 tournament or a co-op tournament, you get swords. And Atten got swords. We did have a great time. We were robbed. We were absolutely robbed. Should have won it. We should have won it. Well, Castle Age in. Scouts out. I'm assuming to try and find relics. We're going 3 TCs. Look, reading handbooks was overrated. And it's not a huge surprise that so it's Malay Battle Elephants will be the play from Fluffy Bunny. And he's lucky that we've gone for 3 TCs because it means that we're not going to get up to a significant number of knights. We're just going to one stable knight trickle this as we're out grabbing relics. That's at least 1 relic secured, soon to be 2, and probably 3 considering how many are close. Scout will die. Second dock. We're just out, just trying to find relics. PP seems like they played this okay. If you win versus swords versus mole, hell yeah. Malian swords do. Malian swords all the time. Absolutely. 100%. In fact, when me and Atten played, I went swords pretty much every time. And quite a few of the times we lost, like one of the maps was enemy islands, and I pretty much won my map every time. Pretty much. Like, so sometimes we made some boats, but there was always swords. Squires, arson, castle, karambits. It's a move. Now, okay, so hear me out. Shotel warriors, swords. Karambits. Are they swords? I'll need to look in the rule book. But I think a karambit is specifically a knife. Like it's a karambit knife. So I don't know. Not like a Kamiuk, which is an honorary sword, because it's so clear that it's great unit. 2 knives equal 1 sword. There we go. It's so. I can see, Andy. That is a logic I can fuck with. Like if you put them together, it's the length of a short sword. And to be honest, while it might say that the karambits are knives, in these guys' hands. Like, that ain't a fucking knife, is it? That's huge. Like, that, absolutely massive. So, not convinced. Who's bloody ringing me now? Somebody else. They can have an answer later. And then they pop. I mean, it's 17, so that shouldn't be enough to kill TCs, but there's no military. We were just greedily grabbing relics. We've got some knives, but there's no military on the field. And the eco is sort of idle, so we're in a bit of a panic. And actually, like, how many houses are up? 26. So we're not a million miles off effectively being able to be pop capped. Oh, what does he want? I like if they just dropped me a text message first. And that way I'd know what my staff want on my holiday day off. Like, if they're calling me, it best be for something important. I like the defensive castle. It's pretty good. So it keeps the stone relatively secured, but it doesn't protect any of our additional TCs, and our entire farming eco is gone. So while the castle does secure some space, allowing this to come up has not been great. Not been great at all. And now we've got karambit spam from 2 castles. We tried to get some night raids, and we do a little bit, kill a few, but the karambits were able to defend at home as well. Now. With some battering rams for karambits to hop into, we're going to continue our push. Imp seems bold. Imp seems very bold when we've got 0 access to food. Safely, really. Wow. That's quite funny. Do you think that's a bold imp castle? Like imp timing? Feels kind of bold to me. We've got a bit on food, I guess, from the fish, and we're taking a small bit around, but we're never going to be able to get up to a night mass with this. So we're having to run vills out for our access to additional stuff. And we're even allowing, even though we could like garrison, we could go ham on the vills. We're allowing Fluffy Bunny to take our gold with impunity as well. Score, tanking, karambits winning. Now speedy rams ramming. Just the numbers. And they're unupgraded. Like, no armor on them at all. So, like, you really want armor against karambits, because karambits are pretty low damage output, right? Like, 8, 9 damage. So you get some armor. That can certainly take the sting off it. Especially because they're not particularly great against knights. But, oh dear. We can effectively afford to lose karambits into this for quite some time. We don't manage to do much in the way of damage to the castle. Trebs are on the way out. It's another TC going down. So we'll have 1 TC left on the outside. No access to farming. No real eco. The only 7 on food are these very inefficient fish. Yeah, 38 to 5. 47 vills. At least PP doesn't need to worry about being housed anytime soon, but Imp is on the way in for Fluffy Bunny as well. And if we go over and just kill the dock, oh, there's no farming eco at all. And market as well. Castle will probably go down. More trebs on the way out. But Andy's done everything he needs to do here. You probably do a transition. I mean, guts to stay in, right? Big guts for staying in. Fluffy, sorry, Fluffy, not Andy. I see somebody winning, and in my heart, I always think Andy. I see a winner, and like Andy's been a natural born winner to me. Fluffy's a winner too, obviously, as we can see from this gameplay. With Imp landing, we get some trebs out of his own. But we are 2 trebs against none, and this castle should go down. Not a huge amount. Well, 8 vills to repair. We're not able to get a 3rd out. I think we're just happy just sort of like trying to mass up. And it does go down. Probably needed a few more vills. thing is, we had them, right? There was still 4 more vills there, but we get rid of the market. And we did manage to cheese our way up to a small knight mass. And we're rebooming, so like fair play to PP. He got pressured, he's moved out, lost his dock. But yeah. Not necessarily out of it. 56 vills. If only we'd managed to keep our idle time a little bit lower. Redemption on the way in for PP. I think that's to convert some buildings. Halberdier in. Trying to get some night kills. Trickling halbs out won't be great. Redemption in 5. Getting some Vil conversions is really, really nice. Really, really nice. It's like this is fixing his damaged economy. And then he can go and grab the buildings, grab the siege workshop to add to his defense. That's not necessarily a bad thing at all. Block printing on the way in as well. PP is felt like a pretty solid player. But maybe just like a little flummoxed by this strategy. I think if this has just been left to play out standard, he'd probably win. Like Andy's eco is a little messy, but you know, melee, we're docked up, we're groovy, we're vulnerable, we're definitely vulnerable. Yeah, sorry Andy, I meant Fluffy. Fucking hell. Look, I'm cursed. Yeah, we have set up some beachfront TCs. You know, they're extra value on the old everything. I'm like, what? It's like, why were they calling me? I don't like when my staff are calling me and I don't know why they're calling me. It's probably because he has no clue what he's doing setting up. Well, there we go. Another TC on the way down. It's like we're catching up fast. It's an important role to be the halb spammer. And there are many. The game might get interesting in a moment. Siege workshops being prepped on the right hand side. We're having 3 houses that Andy deletes. Doesn't allow those houses to be given over. Latest production begins. Not Andy, Fluffy. I'm cursed. I'm cursed. It's going to be there for the rest of time. I'll never learn as well. It's like it's stuck. It's completely stuck. Long sword upgrade is in. We'll be getting two-handed in a little bit. Capped ram being prepped. I don't like. It's great because like by prepping to go into two-handed swordsman now, we're expecting the Lithuanians to go for their skirm transition, right? Because their skirms are fantastic. But what are you going to do against the mixed combo of halberdier two-handed swordsman? Trash two-handed swordsman at that. So it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Fully upgraded for where they can be as well. Liths should go hand cannons. Chemistry is on the way in, so they might be going hand cannons. And we've done a really good job of, like, rescuing our eco, re-expanding all over the map, getting docks back down, docking down on this southern pond as well. Like, PP's done a really, really good job of bouncing back into this, considering we were so far down. But, you know, we probably also could have gotten away with less TCs and more consistent production from them. But, like, PP's done a great job, all things considered. 3 castles in play. We got Trebs. If Andy had just continued raiding down south, the game would have been over. We've not been in a position to, like, upgrade things. We've got over 1,000 gold. But... yeah, fuck! Fluffy! Fuck! Unsupported Treb. Unsupported Treb. Fluffy Bunny. Not called Andy. Fluffy Bunny. If I could get it right, it'd be handy. He went for handy cannons. He did indeed go for hand cannons. Right, okay, gaming. And it is a sneak spam of 2-handed swordsman. More barracks, skirmisher upgrade and thumb ring on the way in. All of the knights going down. Only latest remaining. Hand cannons. Over on this side. Don't think he's noticed. Yeah, he has to. He's sending latest over, but it's like... they're still 2-handed swordsmen, mate. You can't just, like, trickle over some latest to deal with it. It's not... It's not the counter you think it is. At the same time, there's very little over here that matters. It's, funnily enough, it's here is the important eco, and I don't think Fluffy even knows it's there. So we are close to being housed, actually, that's quite funny. And hand cannons were going to kill all of the 2-handed swordsmen, but they just hopped in the cat rams. They just hopped in. And then the ungarrison! And the trash 2-handed swordsmen are there, and we start pressuring the castle. Do 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 do. Castle goes down. Can't be saved. So that's one of the castles removed as the trickle keeps going, and we're just spamming in. We're just spamming in. It would be nice if we had more of a food bank, and we actually could. Like, we could make farms like all over the damn place, but we're not. We're just docking. We're just docking. TC will go down. 2-handed swordsman clearing up hand cannons, because indeed 2-handed swordsman they hand cannon kill. It is an excellent strat. Well executed. Counters everything. Swords OP, and they know it. He knows it. Doesn't even say GG's. Just tilted out of existence by the mere mention of swords. So well done to Fluffy Bunny for winning versus PP. Yeah, good job, Andy. Good job, Andy. Well played. Excellent job from Andy there. Fluffy wasn't bad as well. Hey, happy to cast excellent gameplay. Happy to cast excellent gameplay. Oh well. I'm going to be taking a small break. I've got a phone call to make to a staff member who tried to call me on a holiday day, so that means something's going on. I guess I'll send a quick raid somewhere. But we will be back on Andy's stream later tonight. So I hope you all have a nice day and go and watch some hyper random. Why not? Why not? Catch you later. See you all next time. Good night. Oh, you wait. I'm a put this in. This counts as an hour, me doing this phone call. I swear to God. Goodbye. And goodbye to the people who's secretly still here. Goodbye to you as well. Pub's closed.